So I'm joined today by Amy Weiss from Amazing at Home. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you for having me, Regina. It's great to be here.
So if you do not know Amy, Amy is a kick-ass boss babe, private label seller, coach. She has an awesome community and is launching her private label course, which is called Concept Launch, which is what we're here to talk about today. And really, our focus is, there are lots and lots and lots of private label trainings out there these days. And Amy's, I think, out of all of the ones that I've seen, is probably the most comprehensive, and that's why she's actually called it Concept to Launch, because it covers off just about everything you'd ever want to know about private label and more, and covers off a lot of the things that are actually missing from most of the trainings that are out there, if not all. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Amy. I believe you've got some slides. So let's get to it. Tell us all about your exciting course.
All right, let's get going. Thank you so much again, Regina, for having me. And as Regina said, I've already launched this course. However, it is very comprehensive. My friend calls it, he calls it mathematics made hard, meaning there's a guy who had a course in mathematics, and he really wanted the course for people taking mathematics seriously. So he called it mathematics made hard. So that's not to say that I make it hard, private label hard, but I like to really teach every aspect from concept to launch, because a lot of the courses that are out there, there's a lot of really great courses out there, and there's nothing wrong with getting started and getting moving, but so many mishaps happen along the way, right? Like, how do we talk to our supplier? We got the wrong price, or, we don't know how to do an inspection, so we have a quality control problem, or we picked the wrong product in the first place and now we're having trouble selling it, or we're having to liquidate it, all of these things. So I've tried to cover everything from my experience working with hundreds of Amazon sellers and helping them launch their products, as well as my own experience as an Amazon seller and developing unique products. So without further ado, I will get started here. Let me share my screen. And we'll hit this good old present button and get moving. So today we're going to talk about what might be missing from your private label strategy. And what I want to do is I want to really give you value today, because you might not choose my course, and that's okay. But I want to help you really think through these 4 important pillars of private label. And I know Regina is an incredible private label seller, and I'm sure she will have plenty to contribute as well to each of these pillars. But the 4 pillars that we focus on in our Concept to Launch course are research, development, sourcing, and launch. So we're going to cover these 4 pillars today, and we're going to talk about what's important about each of these and what you should be thinking about as you go through each of these steps from concept to the launch of your brand and your products. So who in the heck am I? Regina, introduced me in such an amazing way, but I'm an inventor and an MBA. I'm an instructor. I'm a top-rated e-commerce consultant and course creator. I have a podcast for Amazon sellers. I am part owner of Rebate Jet. We do rebates for Amazon sellers, and I have a China trip. My community is called Amazing at Home. And this thing over here that I'm holding is a product that I invented when I first got started. I invented a better way to clean the cat litter box based on a problem that I had. So my whole journey kind of started with, wow, I have this idea, but how do I actually turn that into a real product on the marketplace? So that's been a really cool journey. And I share a lot of the things that I went through in developing a product in the course. So We've had a lot of impact. In the recent seller poll, we were voted #2 Facebook group, #3 Amazon course, #3 Amazon consultant, #4 podcast, and #5 contributor in the community. And there's just been so much impact across sellers from from everything from teaching listing optimization all the way through helping them launch their products and set up external traffic and grow their sales. And it's just really, really great to see that anyone who's involved in our community and our programs has just really done some awesome things and has been able to reach their goals. So let's get into each of the pillars. The first pillar is product research. Now you can see I have some screenshots here, and I'm not picking on Jungle Scout, and I'm not picking on, I don't even know who this guy is who's saying you're finding hot products to sell. I'm not picking on anyone. I'm just simply pointing out that there's a lot of free and paid information out there. Would you guys agree with me? There's a lot of stuff out there. So if you Google how to sell on Amazon, you're gonna find a lot of this kind of stuff, right? Where, pick these hot products, use the product research software here, and, look for low competition and high demand, and really try to find that awesome product. And sometimes we get lucky with that, and that's been pretty cool. And sometimes we don't. And the reason that we don't sometimes get lucky with those methods is because a lot of people are using that method, right? If all of us are using the same software with the same search filters, and we're all looking for the same products, and then we find them and we all differentiate the product based on bad reviews, what we're going to have is a bunch of sellers rushing to market, and we're going to flood the market with a lot of products that look the same. And so that's okay. This is one method of doing it. And like I said, sometimes it works. In fact, a few years ago, before Amazon got really kind of crowded, right? There's still plenty of space in the marketplace, but a few years ago, you could really easily use this strategy and you could sell like crazy. Things have changed a little bit. It's harder to use this strategy now simply because there's just a larger influx of Amazon sellers using the same strategy. So we need to use other methods. We can still use product research software, but we should be combining that with other methods so that we are really differentiating in a way that matters to the customer. So this is a huge thing, right? I do a listing optimization review service where you can submit your listing to me and you can say, Amy, I'm not making any sales. Can you help me out? And I'll look at your listing and I'll take a look at, where are you organically in search? Are you using the right keywords? Just to give you an idea of, I sorted my listing optimization or my listing review forms by no sales, the word no sales. And I had pages and pages of forms. I mean, Regina, I could have filled up like 4 slides with this stuff. And I'm sure, you have similar people that come to you for this kind of stuff. But it's really what happens when we use this method, when we just look on product research software and we don't do any outside research. We end up with a saturated product and we end up competing on price and reviews. And then you end up sending me a message that says, Amy, I'm not making any sales. I'm spending so much money on PPC and I'm not sure what to do. And sometimes it's fixable and sometimes it's not, but it really does kind of lead us down a bad path. So what can we do to help us find better products to sell? First of all, we have to focus on our numbers. My course starts with helping you understand your numbers. So many people don't know how to run their numbers. They don't know what they should be selling a product at to be competitive and what they should be sourcing it at to make enough margin to really scale their business. So we all can see these really impressive revenue screenshots, right? I love them. They're great. This is from the FBA memes group, right? But so I got to give credit where credit is due. But, you know, we can see that. But where is the profit here? So what my focus is first teaching you really how to run your numbers. And we're going to cover some of that in today's talk here. So what should you be focused on when you're thinking about a product? The first element here is, what can you sell that product for? I've had many people come to me and go, Amy, I got a new product idea. It's on the boat. It's ready. It's on its way to Amazon. And they say, I hope I can sell it for this much. And I go, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean you hope you can sell it for that much, right? And maybe their price is way above their competitors. Well, we want to make sure that we come to market with a really awesome competitive price, because that makes, if we have a better product, it makes it really easy for the customer to choose ours over the competition. The second thing that we want to look at is price control. Can you control the price? If you come to market with the same product as everybody else, you're going to be competing on price. So you got to do something to make yourself different, either your offer or the way you present it or your design, whatever it is. You've got to make sure that you have some way to control that price. You're offering some value that doesn't leave you competing in a price war to the bottom. The third is, what is the cost to manufacture that product? Right? This is where that mistake comes in. If we pay too much to our manufacturer because we aren't sure how to source and how to talk to a manufacturer, then suddenly we get stuck with this first one where we go, oh, I hope I can sell it for more because I paid too much for it. So we want to look at all those three elements. And then finally, does it have a 7x minimum multiplier? Now, most of, my Amazon seller friends and me, we are at, usually we like to have a 10x on Amazon. What that means is, if I source it for $1, I like to sell it for $10. So a lot of the courses out there teach you 3x. So you're sourcing it for $5 and you're selling it for $15, but it doesn't leave you much margin for advertising. And it really leaves you in a volume game where you've got to sell so many to really make a decent profit over time. So what we want to do is, we really want to increase our multiplier from what we source them for and what we can sell it for, so that we don't get stuck in that terrible cycle of constantly digging in our pockets and borrowing money to buy new inventory. And then also, we see all the posts in the Facebook groups about, I can't afford advertising. It's so expensive. We need to have margin for advertising. So those are the four kind of things that I like to focus on when we talk about mastering profitability and scalability. Next, this is the first thing we talked about. Can we control the price? So we got these lovely toiletry bags here. It's a product that people buy once, every few years, right? And it's hard to compete, right? We can see here, we've got this one selling for $12.97. This is clearly probably a factory, right? That's listing their product direct. We've got this one selling for $34.99. We've got this one that's more of a premium leather and selling for $69.99. And then we have this one over here. It's a little bit differentiated. It's at $26.97. It looks different, and it's really going to appeal to a customer who goes, oh, I'm going to buy this once. I think I'd like some more pockets. Yeah, and I'd like to be able to hang it up. Okay, great. So we look at, can we control the price? Now, look at the ranks, the sales ranks. On Amazon, the higher the sales rank, right? So the lower the sales rank, meaning the closer to the number one that it is, the better it's selling. So we've got this one at $12.97. It's got a sales rank of 11,000, selling really, really well. And then we see this one for $34.99. There's a lot that look like this one, right? In the $30 price range, and it's 119,000. Selling okay in a category that has over 1 million products. but not nearly as well as this one that's flying off the virtual shelf every day. Then we look at this one that's high end, $70 price point, low number of reviews. Look at their rank, 411,000. They're selling 1 unit every few days. So then we see this one over here, $26.97. They're a little bit higher price, but they're really a good market price. And there's 61,000 in beauty and personal care. Pretty good. They're not selling as well as the low price leader here, but they're selling pretty steadily. So these guys here that have differentiated themselves, they can control the price. These guys here cannot. They can't control the price because they're competing with this bag that looks very similar to this one and is only $12.97. So the market is telling us what they want. They say, we want the one that looks good and is cheap and has good reviews, right? Or we want the one that's differentiated a little bit and has some pockets and that we can hang up. We're willing to pay a little bit more for that one, but we're not willing to pay a lot more for this one that, you know, looks a lot like this one that's only $12.97, right? So it's important to think about that. We don't just want to look at this guy, this really big seller that's at $12.97 and say, oh, wow, look at their sales. If we were to see them in product research software, we'd be like, wow, they've got really great sales. Their revenue's off the chain. It's awesome. I'm just going to copy them and I'm going to make a high-end version of that product. Will the market accept that? No, they won't. They're already telling us they won't, right? Look at the ranks of the ones that are trying to do that. So it's really important that you actually do market research and you understand, can you control the price on your product before you launch it? So let's get into the numbers a little bit, all right? This is a breakdown of some numbers that of one of my actual products. So my cost to make it in China is $6. My cost to ship it is $1.50. My Amazon fees are $5.83. I'm shipping it to the customer at a cost of $10. So $15 total fees. And my total costs are $23.33. I'm selling it for $38.87. My total profit here is $15.54. So let's do some basic math. At $7.50 a unit with shipping, how many can I afford to buy with this leftover profit? Now, this is before advertising. I haven't paid for any ads yet. I can afford to buy 2 more units. This is not the case on a lot of products and a lot of sellers that are out there at only a 3x margin. Only the 3x multiplier, if you're sourcing a product for $5 and you're selling it only for $15, look, my profit is $15, right? So it's easier for me to scale because I can buy a lot more inventory. I can turn my inventory quick than it is for you because you might not even have enough money left over here in profit to actually buy even 1 more unit of inventory. So if you don't have enough money left over, you're digging into your pocket and you're borrowing to buy more inventory every time. And it takes you a really long time to scale your business. So it's important to understand why Amy preaches on this 7x to 10x multiplier.
And I'm going to cut in here, Amy, because this is something that really gets my goat. I have to say, just about every training course I see there, they say, with your first inventory order, if you make 25% margin, you're doing well. And then in your second one, you make 30% margin and you're doing well. And as you've just so very clearly shown, there is no way you can build a business with a 30% margin. I will not touch a product unless I have a 50% margin to start with. Or more, ideally more, like you said, for the reasons that we've discussed, because you need to replace that unit, preferably build your business and spend money on advertising and promotion. So I'm so glad that you put up that screen because that's the clearest I've ever actually seen it described as to why you need to have that margin. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm going to show some more here because we're taking those same numbers. Those are the same numbers I showed you guys on the last screen, like that $15.54. And let's just take a look. In 30 days, I sold 90 units at $15.54 in profit. So that leaves me with $1,398 in profit, right? But I also spent some money on advertising. And this is the part that a lot of people don't take the time to calculate, and they're not sure if they're making any money. So I look over the last 30 days and I subtract my advertising. So I spent $95 on advertising. Not too bad. Look at that. 5 orders from advertising out of 90 units ordered in 30 days. Not bad. 85 organic sales and 5 from advertising. So my ad spend's good. I subtract that advertising spend. That leaves me a balance of $1,300 for my 30 days of sales. Now I have to subtract the cost to buy, as Regina pointed out, replacement inventory from my supplier. I don't want to be digging back into my pocket every time. I want to make sure that I set aside the money, the profit first model. I set aside the money to buy new inventory. So I've got to set aside $675 to buy 90 more units, the 90 units that I sold. And then back in my pocket to pay myself or the help is $628. Not too bad. Now, wait a minute. We also need to subtract our operating expenses, our accounting. Maybe we're paying for Helium 10 or Seller SEO or Seller app. You know, we all love the software. It's great to have it. But let's just say we're spending $200 a month. That's really modest. That's really low. But let's just say we're spending $200 a month. So then we subtract that and we're at $428. Now let's divide that $428 by 32 hours of work. Let's say we're doing the 4-hour work week and this is just one product. So we're doing this very part-time. And how much money can we pay ourselves at 32 hours of work with a $428 balance? $13 an hour. So McDonald's is looking pretty good right now. I mean, we're average, but we can see we could scale this, right? We can add more products. It's not too bad. It's pretty good. But now I want to show you guys something. Advertising costs matter. My average cost per click, so these are the same numbers I just showed you. My advertising cost per click average was 39 cents. I paid for 244 clicks. Only 5 of my 90 sales were from advertising. So if your average cost per click is over $1 and you paid $1 for each of those 244 clicks that I got, you would now, so this is a very let's say it's a very competitive product and you have to pay for advertising. Well, look at what happens to my hourly rate. If I had to pay for $1 per click for 244 clicks, some of you guys are paying over $1 per click. And this is just one campaign. Most people have 3 campaigns. I've seen a lot of ad spend, right? So look at my hourly rate now goes down to $1 an hour. So getting a job at McDonald's is looking really good right now, right? It's much harder to scale if we have a really competitive product that we have to pay for advertising. So this is where your differentiation comes in. You really want to make sure that you can stand out on the page and you can get those conversions, those sales conversions, because it's going to cost you less in advertising and it's going to help you scale your business faster. So advertising costs matter. And what happens if we can improve our net profit? So look what I did, you guys. I found a better supplier. I went to China. I learned how to negotiate. I learned how to talk to manufacturers. I found a better supplier. And that $6 that I used to pay for that product went down to $1.68. I also learned how to do better shipping and importing. So I reduced my shipping cost down to $1 per unit instead of the $1.50 I was paying. So now look at this. My total cost for this same product went down to $18.51. My profit went up to $20. But look what happens to my replacement cost of inventory. Now it only cost me, for 90 more units, it only cost me $241. I've got over $1,400 left over in profit. Look at how much, by reducing my costs and learning how to work with suppliers and learning how to really do better shipping and better importing, better quality, look what I was able to do. Now I'm able to pay myself $40 an hour for that same product. That's scalable. All right. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the difference in having a scalable business and feeling versus feeling like you're just on a hamster wheel and you can't get off because you're like, okay, should I order more? I'm out of money. I don't know what to do, right? So we want to make sales. We want to have great products, but we also want to make sure that they're profitable and scalable. So I want you to aim for a minimum 7x multiplier. That means if you can sell it for $70, you divide that by 7, and it means you have to source it for $10. Okay, that's what that means, right? You want to aim for that minimum 7x multiplier. And when people enter my program, they say, Amy, that seems impossible. I'm never going to get a 7x multiplier. I'm lucky to get a 4x. I can't get the supplier to reduce their price. Well, you guys have been paying them a lot of money, you know, along with a bunch of other Amazon sellers who are just going to Alibaba and asking what the price is, not having real conversations or relationships with your suppliers because you're not sure how. So you're paying them way too much money. And then you end up actually in this situation where it's just, you're not able to scale your business. So this is why we focus on these 4 pillars. And everybody in my program has been able to achieve the multipliers and also understand why they need these multipliers. So I'm just going to, impossible.
Can I just interrupt here, Amy? So with your multiplier, are you are including the shipping cost or only the manufacturing cost?
So I like to include shipping costs, but when you're first sourcing a product, what I like to tell folks to do is aim for that 7x multiplier, including the shipping per unit, but aim for that at scale. So I don't expect you to order 100 units from a supplier when you're first starting out and get a 7x multiplier. What I want you to do is I want you to be able to grow to that, right? I want you, when you first negotiate with your supplier and you go, hey, if I'm at a 20-foot container, I need to make sure that we're meeting my target price. So before you even move forward with that supplier, you understand that at scale, when you're moving to bigger orders, further on down the road, that they're going to meet your minimum 7x multiplier target price. In our program, we start our negotiations at 12x, and we try and aim for somewhere between 7 to 10x for a larger scale order, right? And then we negotiate, which we could do a whole class just on negotiation and talking to suppliers. But then we negotiate, okay, now we're gonna do a smaller test order, right? We wanna make sure this product works. Suppliers expect that, you know, that's a very normal thing to do. It's normal to pay a little surcharge, but we wanna make sure that we can scale with this manufacturer before we begin working with them. Does that answer your question, Regina?
Yes, thank you.
Yep. Yeah, no problem. All right, so I'm just showing you guys, this is the same product that I showed you first at $7.50. This is a 5x multiplier. So remember, after advertising, we were at about $13 an hour, right? Is this scalable? It is, but it's, you know, it could be better. So then we have my profit improvement where I lowered my cost and I lowered my shipping costs, and I'm at $40 an hour and I have a really nice balance. And this is just one product. This is very scalable. I have $20 left over in net profit per unit. Look at how many more units I can buy. It's incredible. Think about each of those extra units that I can buy, all of that money piling up, right? Because I can keep flipping my inventory. I can keep growing. And think about what that looks like up against my competition. I have money for advertising. I have money to turn my inventory. I have money to pick better graphics and better photos and all of that. I have money to pay myself. So that's the thing. Now, if we don't have high multipliers and we have to scale our business to 800 products before we're making a decent, before we're making decent money, well, that is one business model, and you can use that business model if you'd like. But for me, I would rather have one brand with 5 or 6 really great products and be able to really pay myself and scale my business and make a living without having to scale, needing to scale to 800 products, right? We're not Walmart. We are a brand. So we want to make sure that our products are carefully selected, that we're setting up an awesome brand, and that we have the margin to scale our business and pay ourselves. So remember, if we have a really toiletry bag for men, I searched this keyword and the cost of advertising, cost per click on average is $1.45. So if I paid for those 244 clicks, all right, so I'm giving you guys this example now. This is my original 5x multiplier. Most of you are at 3x. Remember this, okay? So if I had to pay for $1.45, if I was selling a toiletry bag, a very competitive product, and I had to pay for those 244 clicks, look at what happens to my profit for those same numbers. I'm in the negative now. I don't want to be losing money with every sale and not being able to afford advertising. So it's just really important to understand, what are your advertising costs? Can you control the cost of the product? Can you control how much you can sell it for, the price, and what are your manufacturing costs? And do you have that multiplier? All right. So we do product research completely differently. We first discover those business models. We talk about your numbers and maximizing your profits. We talk about maximizing your margins. And then we go through a whole series of classes on market research. We teach you how to study the market. Instead of starting with products on product research software, we visit that later. We use product research software later on down the road. But first we start by studying the niche and understanding what customers are buying, and most importantly, why they are buying those products. It's so important to understand why people are buying the products that they're buying, because otherwise, if we just look at bad reviews and we go, oh, this toiletry bag, people are complaining about the zipper, and I'm going to launch a toiletry bag with a better zipper, a premium zipper. Is anyone searching for toiletry bag with premium zipper? No, no one's searching for that. We're not going to be able to, we need to know, what are people searching for in their niche? And we can find that out with data that's already readily available across the internet. And that's called market research. So we're studying the customer first, instead of getting stuck in the endless loop of product research going, oh, is this the right product? I don't know. The reason you don't know is because you don't know why people buy that product. And you don't have confidence that they're going to buy yours when you launch your version. So we give you the confidence by teaching you how to study the market. We give you tons of templates along the way. I was an instructor in the military for 18 years. I have an ability to break down really confusing concepts into easy to understand, easy to follow methods. So I give you guys worksheets along the way. I give you spreadsheets. I help you apply the knowledge. It's not just you watching videos. It's you watching a video and then coming back, asking questions. We have 2 live sessions a week, and then we have all of our templates. So it's really, really a great way to learn and grow with others. So let's get into product development, which is the second thing. This is the second pillar that I teach that a lot of courses don't teach, right? Why is it important to learn how to develop a product? Well, if you study the market and you learn that people are looking for toiletry bags with pockets or toiletry bags that hang up, and you want to differentiate your product that way, how are you going to do that if you don't know how to develop a product or talk to a supplier about differentiating a product? So we have a full course on the second pillar of our course is on product development, so that when you want to differentiate in a way that matters to the customer, you know how to do that. You know how to apply this idea for differentiation and bring that cool product to market, right? So we don't want to compete with everybody else. We don't want to compete with the factory. We want to develop and differentiate and protect our product. That actually is what private label is all about, having a differentiated product that you can protect, right? That you can grow, because that's how you protect your brand and grow it and add value. So most of the other courses that are out there, and again, I'm not picking on Jungle Scout, I'm not picking on any of these courses. All I'm saying is most of the courses take you from the product research tool direct to Alibaba. The problem with this is you don't know if any of these suppliers can actually develop a product for you. You're not sure how to find suppliers outside of Alibaba. You don't know how to prevent your supplier from competing against you. You get stuck in this kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do here. I want to tell them about my differentiation, but what if they steal it? We teach you how to do all of that. We teach you how to talk to suppliers. We teach you how to protect your differentiation. We teach you how to develop contracts with your suppliers. All of that, every step along the way, instead of just skipping all those steps and going right to, yeah, just apply these search filters on Alibaba, you'll figure it out, right? The suppliers that are on Alibaba, it's not that they're bad, but a lot of them are just third parties. I actually know a guy who is a 10-year supplier on Alibaba, 10-year gold supplier on Alibaba. He has all the diamonds. He's just a guy in his apartment sourcing from factories. He's not actually a factory. So the thing is, if you don't know how to vet your suppliers and you don't know how to talk to suppliers or find suppliers for differentiated products, it puts you at a disadvantage. Think about all the people who've been through my program who know how to do that and know how to bring products to market, differentiated products to market. You're going to be looking at them on this product research software. You're going to be looking at their products going, ooh, how did they do that? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to find their supplier. Good luck. All right. So we teach product development. It's really, really important to understand how, like, does your idea work? How do you actually develop a product? Do you need a 3D designer? How do you know what manufacturing process your product uses? Do you need a cut and sew factory? How do you find textiles? Do you need a plastic injection mold? You know, it's important to understand your manufacturing process and understand how to actually talk to manufacturers. And then it's important to understand intellectual property and how to protect yourself, both in the US or wherever you're selling, as well as wherever you're sourcing from. So we give you all of our resources. We give you all of our worksheets, all of our templates. All right, let's get into the third pillar, which is sourcing. Sourcing is so, so important, right? Okay, now I know how to talk to manufacturers. I know how to develop products. I know how to develop that differentiation. But how do I get this 14x multiplier Amy was talking about? How do I do that? How do I reduce my cost, right? The key is learning how to speak the language. Learn how to become a really great partner for a supplier. Most of the people that I talk to that come from other courses have never even had a conversation with their supplier. I get on regular video chats with my suppliers and talk to them. I have good relationships with them. I go and visit them, right? So it's important to understand what questions to ask your supplier, how to talk to them, how to speak the language, how to be a good partner to them, because it is a partnership. They're developing and manufacturing your products. It's a partnership. So you want them to want to work with you and you want to work with them. So we teach you what that looks like. We teach you how to source products and how to really negotiate the right prices in order to make sure that you can control those 4 things that we talked about, right? So remember that lower cost equals an increased profit. On this guy here, right? On this one here, they're offering a higher price, but if they could lower their price and they could have the premium leather at that $39.99 price, imagine what they could do. But they can't lower their price because they paid too much from their manufacturer, right? So if we cannot get stuck in this vicious cycle, we can do very, very well. So I want you guys to always think about that. So the biggest mistakes that people make when they're sourcing is they don't know how to find manufacturers. They're not sure how to talk to manufacturers. They aren't sure how to get a better price. And they're not sure how to not compete with other sellers that are driving the prices up, right? So we teach sourcing much, much differently. We teach you how to make your sourcing list, how to evaluate your suppliers. We have 7 steps to vetting our suppliers so that you understand that that person that supplier you found on Alibaba is exactly who they say they are. We teach you how to get their business license, how to look them up. We teach you how to make sure that they're a good partner for you. We teach you how to visit factories, both virtually and in person. So right now we can't visit our factories, unfortunately, due to COVID, but we teach you how to do that virtually and what areas of the factory you should be looking at, what questions you should be asking. Imagine having that level of relationship with your manufacturer. It changes everything for you. We teach you how to negotiate and communicate with your suppliers. We teach you how to use a sourcing agent or a third party if you would like to, but you don't have to, right? Sometimes it's helpful to use a sourcing agent, but we teach you what to look out for. There's a lot of bad players out there. So it's important to know what to look for in a sourcing agent if you're going to use one and what that looks like, right? How to design your packaging. Oh my gosh, Regina, so many people reach out to me all the time and go, I got gated. I listed the product, it was just fine. And now Amazon's saying that I need to submit my packaging for approval to get ungated as the manufacturer, and their packaging doesn't have anything on it that it needs. Your packaging needs a UPC, not the FN SKU. You need the UPC to get ungated as a manufacturer. You need your product name. You need your business location. You need a contact address. There's so many things you need on your packaging, and that's just getting skipped in other courses, right? I love to teach my folks how to really create awesome retail packaging. The more retail your packaging looks, the more the customer thinks, oh, did I see that on the shelf at the store? It just adds trust, right? So we try to teach you how to make really great retail ready packaging so that you can expand beyond Amazon as well. We teach you about quality control. A lot of people are not getting their products inspected. They aren't sure how to do that, or they're really paying for, like a $50 inspection on Alibaba, which isn't an inspection at all. So we teach you how to create spec sheets and how to make sure that you're getting your products thoroughly inspected, and then what to do when your products fail an inspection. What do you do then, right? How do you work with your manufacturer to get those things fixed? What kind of contracts do you need to have in place so that you're not paying for those things? We teach you all of that. So we really get into everything, right? And then shipping and importing. We talk about how do you actually get your products to their destination, what are tariffs, all of that kind of stuff. And it's not just me teaching this stuff. I bring in experts that are in my network. I expose you to those experts so that you have trusted contacts yourself and you can grow and build your own business. So as usual, we give you worksheets along the way so that you're able to really apply the knowledge. The folks in our program are amazing. They have these big binders with all of their worksheets, and they're like, yeah, okay, I'm sourcing a new product. I'm going back to that worksheet. I'm looking through, oh, I got to get this contract set up with my supplier. I'm doing this week. So you'll see people in our program that are all at different parts in the process, and they are always going back, and it's really cool. We get to kind of grow together. And then we don't just stop there. We've got you to sourcing the product, but what about setting up your business? Do you know how to do marketing, business planning, how to finance your business, how to actually find your audience off of Amazon, how to set up your website and your social media, how to do content creation and sales and funnels? Regina teaches us how to do chatbots, how to get your products featured in the media. All of this is important. It's important to growing a legit brand, and that's what we're all about. So we don't just stop it when you source the product, because you're going to go, what now? Well, we need to set up our business properly. So we do that. And then what if you want to increase your sales channels, right? Our program is not just Amazon centric. You're absolutely ready to go on Amazon, and we give you Amazon listing optimization classes. We teach you how to launch on Amazon. We have a full 10 classes just on launch with a 140-page step-by-step launch workbook for Amazon. But also your products are set up to sell beyond Amazon. So that's really, really great. I just want to give you an example of sales channels. So I have clients that home decor, right? They want to do home decor. They come to me and they're like, Amy, I really want to do home decor. I've discovered the niche. I've studied it. I know it, but it doesn't look great on Amazon. So this is an example of a gold vase on Amazon, right? Look at the prices. All right. Well, here in America, we don't usually buy home decor and stuff on Amazon. We usually buy it on Wayfair. So look at the prices of gold vases on Wayfair. So I just want you guys to know that e-commerce is not just limited to Amazon, right? We have so many different channels that you can sell in. And if you're finding if your brand really wants to be home decor, Amazon might not be the best channel for you. Something just to consider, but it doesn't mean that you can't grow beyond Amazon or that you can't start on your own Shopify site. If you have a great product that's differentiated in a way that matters to the customer and you have great margins, you can grow anywhere you want to go. All right. And then, as I mentioned, we teach you launch. We teach you how to do a listing, how to do shipping, packaging, labels, how to do PPC, how to do chatbots, how to do external advertising, how to actually go through the phases of launch, how to set up your business operations, and how to scale your business beyond that first product, beyond that second product, beyond that third product, right? And then we also offer a lot of bonus content. So we do monthly planning sessions together where we set our goals for the month. We do group Q&A sessions twice a week. We have group live sessions and Q&As. And then we teach about productivity and time management. I have a class in here in our curriculum on outsourcing and hiring. I give you my templates that I use to hire my first virtual assistants. Sample processes for SOPs for Amazon and running your e-commerce business. We talk about mindset and focus because that is also so important. So along with our program, you're not just getting a course with a bunch of videos, you're actually getting a community of support because we're here to help you succeed. And you're going to go through this process as you're building your business over and over and over again, right? You're going to go back and go, oh my gosh, okay, I got to source the next product now. How do I set up those contracts again? All right, this is a cyclical process and you're going to continue to utilize it and you're going to continue to grow. So that is the bonus content that you get along with that. So any questions?
Well, that was absolutely awesome and super comprehensive. A little bit like drinking from a fire hose, right?
Yes, it's a lot.
So if somebody is starting out and they absolutely have no idea where to start, how much time would they need to allocate to going through the training and the process?
Well, the good thing about our pillars is they do go in order. So, you start with product research. So you go through the content, you ask your questions in our group as you have them, that kind of stuff. You can attend a few live sessions, however you learn, that's good for you. But as you're moving through and you choose your product, well, we have milestones that you reach along the way. So it's not like you have to do all 4 pillars from the very beginning before you can get started. You can start with our first 10 classes, which cover knowing your numbers and product research and choosing that winning product on your idea list. And then you can reach that milestone and then go into, okay, do I need to develop this product or can I skip to sourcing? Right? Maybe you're going to find a really cool differentiated product that already exists on the market and it's pretty easy to source. So you don't have a lot of development. So that's the thing is it's designed so that you can do it as you learn.
Okay, terrific. And so how much is your course?
So the full course and lifetime membership to our mastermind group is $19.97 right now on sale. So hopefully it'll stay that price for a little while.
That's terrific. So if anybody is interested, there'll be a button or a link or something below this video that can take them through to take a look at your offer, right?
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me share the offer with the good people today. And I hope that even if they don't choose my course, that the things that we've covered today really help people to think about their sourcing and their negotiation and their margins.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's some amazing knowledge bombs. So as you say, so even if you choose not to join Amy in her training, hopefully, well, I know for a fact that you would have got something out of this session today. So thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you.